In the quiet hills of Tennessee, where the wind whispers through the trees and shadows linger just a little too long, a family once lived in terror of something they could not explain. Whispers in the night, hands pulling at the sheets, a voice that promised death. Some say it was a spirit. Others swear it was the devil himself. Whatever it was, it left its mark in blood and fear, and its name has forever haunted history for over 200 years. Tonight, we visit the Bell Witch.
Welcome back, everybody. This will be episode 4 for our spoopy series. How is everybody doing today?
I'm tired.
You're always tired. When would be a good time for you to be like up and ready to go for this?
I don't know. I stayed up late last night. That was the problem.
I thought I heard you.
I went to bed at 2.
I was going to say, I was like starting to doze off, but I thought I heard voices, and I'm like, oh, that's right, she's on her phone.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at the clock, and it was like maybe 1 or so, and I'm like, turn the fan on, then I won't hear anything.
We fell asleep on FaceTime again. We were catching up. She was telling me a bunch of stuff.
I'm sure you have a lot to catch up on, but my God.
She said she was lore dropping. That's what we were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lore dropping.
It was quite fun.
That's actually a little bit better there. Maybe it was the ice. There was too much ice on top.
Maybe.
Because no, that next drink there.
And then told Mom that...
Nobody move.
Don't anyone touch the table.
I told Mom that me and her wanted to have a sleepover at some point. And Mom's
that
like,
is better there.
Mom's just like, oh, that's completely fine. Like, whatever. And then she said that her mom commented on an old photo of us and said that she missed us being friends.
Oh, okay.
And that she's, like, happy that we're talking again.
Well, that's good.
And I'm like, well, me too. But we don't have any classes together, so I'll, like, never see her.
You'll see her in stage crew.
Yeah, but we don't. We have, like, monthly meetings now. And that's if Matt follows through with them, because he didn't last year.
Yeah, last year that was a little inconsistent and stuff.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to have a meeting. The meeting for Wednesday is canceled. I thought it was for Thursday. Nope.
We changed our mind on that one.
Yeah, we just didn't tell you.
All right. So for today, we are going to get in our imaginary car and we're going to go down to North Carolina. Or we're going to start in North Carolina. We are going to follow the family that moves to Tennessee, and we are going to talk about the Bell Witch today. So we're starting in North Carolina because that's where the bells originate from. The layout that I did for our episode today is we're actually going to go back from where the bells originated from. Then we're going to come into moving to Tennessee along the Red River, and then the whole lore of the Bell Witch itself. Then I even have some eyewitness accounts for us, and then we can roll from there. So in 1804, John Bell and his wife Lucy with their children lived in North Carolina and decided to move out towards Tennessee. Now, the reason why they moved out that way is from day one of this controversial that I did not know. So, John had a successful running farm in North Carolina. Now, I will stipulate from the beginning of this, he had slaves. That I did not know. I've known the Bell Witch story for a long-ass time, and that was something I did not know. So he had a well-working farm, had slaves and whatever. He took all of them to Tennessee. Now, the reason why it's a controversial story is because why did he leave North Carolina? Was it because Tennessee opened up for, like, vast areas, new opportunities? John actually had in North Carolina, a reputation of not being such a legit businessman.
Nah, you're shady, huh?
John always came out on top. Conveniently. Would you like a cookie? It's the best cookie you're ever going to have.
I don't trust your cookie.
Yeah. Well, you took the cookie according to the end of the paper, and I got lots of money out of it. So that is, in some stories, they took it upon themselves to just go out and like expand, blah, blah, blah. But in other stories, he was losing opportunity to do anymore because he had a bad rap going on in North Carolina. So they head out to Tennessee and they settle along the Red River in Robertson County, Tennessee. Now, the reason why it's called the Red River is because of the clay, and it literally stirs up red. The fertile farmlands, lots of livestock, crops, and opportunity. So at the time that he shows up with his family, John becomes prosperous. He is respected in his church. He is currently a deacon at the Red River Baptist Church. However,
oh Lord,
you might want to pray, oh Lord. However, after a small period of time, he is asked to step down.
Oh, I wonder why.
It adds to the controversy. The image that their family has is known as a model frontier family, strong, hardworking, and community pillars. So all in all, we're supposed to be all happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, you get asked to step down at the church.
Yeah. See, that's just it. Like, none of us do church or whatever, but I'm like, if you're that bad that they're asking you to step down, they put up with a lot. What's your problem? What'd you do?
See, I already know I couldn't make it. So, to be asked to step down, I'm like, ha ha. Yeah, there's something there.
A local historian, we actually have this that I found in one of the, I guess you could call it documentary books or whatever from the time, but a historian from 1810, I was not going to put their name in. I tried practicing the name to say it, so I just put in local historian. I'm done embarrassing myself to that extent. The Bells were known for their hard work and generosity, often helping neighbors with harvests and other tasks. I feel that they helped, but they always got something out of it. I don't want to say that they were bad people. I really don't. But I did find a lot more than I was expecting of. They weren't just this sweet, innocent family that just sat out there and like.
Well, you're a shrewd businessman.
That was like for John. He was known as just a very shrewd, and he always won whatever dealing he was after. So I'm like, usually that means there's some shadiness afoot. So now, what's going to lead into the Bell Witch itself is our figure known as Kate Batts. Now, do you even know?
I know nothing about this.
Of the Bell Witch? You don't know anything at all? Because I know Dakota's watched quite a few shows of the Bell Witch with me. Because we watched Sam and Colby.
When did they do Bell Witch?
They went to the Bell Witch Cave. I can't remember when they did that. And there was another paranormal show that we watched that the Bell Witch one came up. I can't remember. Kate Batts is what was associated with the Bell Witch of what you could say that she was called, like that's what she called herself, but the Bell Witch just said that her name was Kate, and then they associate it with Kate Batts. Now, we're going to go into, just to give us a little bit of backstory of why she was considered for this. She was a neighbor to the Bells. She was eccentric, outspoken, sometimes bedridden, according to locals. Her personality traits were known as sharp-tongued, stubborn, feared by some, laughed by others. Now, she would have alleged powers, Kate, but not the witch, but Kate herself. Cursing, hexing neighbors, that she could possibly cryptically predict the future. This was Kate, not the witch. Supposedly, again, she could manipulate objects, almost in like a poltergeist activity. And speaking with multiple voices, sometimes appears physically, sometimes only voice. Now, the reason why they have Kate Batts, not only was she the neighbor, Her and John had an issue. Guess who John bought the property that he moved to in Tennessee off of?
Her family?
Her exactly, not her family, Kate exactly. Land dispute with John Bell sparks feud. Locals claim she cursed the family. So when John moved his family out, the parcel that he purchased was off of Kate Batts. Now, I couldn't get like an exact reason why it was being sold off. Maybe she was trying to look for some money or whatever, people coming out her way. But yeah, the parcel that he got off of her, which was a good chunk of change or whatever, he bought from her. Now, the dispute is John, having his shady dealings, jilted her in not a very fair transaction, and Kate got offense to it and placed a curse on him.
I would have cursed him too.
So, Robertson County record from the early 1800s is quoted on saying Kate Batts was a woman of singular temper, feared by some, laughed at by others, but none doubted her ability to invoke mischief if so inclined.
Huh.
A neighbor documented in a local paper from 1820 goes on to say old Kate had the eyes of a hawk and the hands that could not be trusted. Many claimed she spoke to spirits, and the very air around her felt wrong.
So you just have like two shrewd people.
You have two forces that are on a collision course to cause trouble. When I always heard about the Kate Batts with the Bell Witch stories, I always assumed it to be like they're just picking on an eccentric old woman. She's just like out by herself, and let's target her. Mm-hmm. She must be the cause of it. Da da da. But then the more you read back into it, it's like I think there was some seeds laid down here for. You screwed me out of a dealing that I wanted and trying to be fair across the board. So guess what? These people believe I can do. Let me show you what I can do here. So that was, what did I say, 1804 is when they moved out? Yes, 1804. I'm trying to keep my days here, or dates. So 1804 is when they move out. Nothing happens for a good period of time. Okay, they get the farm established. They get everything up and running. Now, 1817 is when the first signs of an actual haunting and event start taking place. So John goes out hunting one day, like you do at that time. Mm. You're going out, going to see what you can bring in for dinner. And while out, John comes across this animal that it's a dog with a rabbit-like head. A giant black bird approaches him that disappears when approached. So he has two things happen. He has this dog-esque character with a rabbit head, and in some accounts it's said to have horns, approaches and like starts walking through. When he goes near it, it disappears. Then there's this giant blackbird as he's heading home because he's like, well, I'm going to go after this thing. I need to go load back up and whatever. There's this huge blackbird that like swoops towards him. And then when he advances, it's like a black cloud. It's gone. It's completely disappeared. From that moment is when everything started happening. Now, in later recounts, John tells his children, his family, his neighbors that when he was out hunting and he encountered the animal with the rabbit head, that it looked as if it was just sitting there watching him. Like it was almost not necessarily hunting, but just like very intently observing what he was doing. So after this is when they got back home, the house disturbances would start happening. You would have random knocking through the entire house. Bed covers would be pulled down. You'd be lying in your bed, dead asleep, and it's one thing to knock your blankets off or whatever, but they were literally feeling someone tug them at the bottom of the bed, and then they were just ripped right off. It wasn't just a gentle pull. They were ripped off. Pillows would be tossed around the house. So you'd go make the beds, try to clean up or whatever, and pillows would be thrown completely across the room. physical attacks on the children would start happening. Now, one of the youngest children, Betsy, was the main target of this. She accounted for a ton of the being slapped, hair pulls that were constant. Her hair would be tied in knots around the bedpost that when she would go to get up, her hair would be tied to the bed that she could not get up, and she would wake up with random bruises. So, a quote from the Bell's diary from Betsy of 1817 said, "I would lay down and feel a hand upon me, though no one was near. It would pinch, slap, and sometimes pull my hair. I cried, yet none would come to help." We'll later do an episode about the Amityville Horror, because I have a theory about that one too. But when you hear that she yelled out for help, she screamed, no one woke up, no one heard her. Is there a possibility in hauntings that when you're being attacked, have you ever had like a nightmare where you're trying to yell but no sound comes out? Because I used to have those when I was a kid, like maybe off and on. But is there a possibility that you're in a bubble, you're yelling out for people around you, person right next to you's dead asleep and they can't hear a single word of you? You're like in that silence dome. Because she said that she could hear herself screaming for help. No one would move. No one would come help her. So, Richard Williams wrote in his diary of 1817, "We heard noises as if someone were moving furniture at midnight, yet the house was empty and locked tight." That there was no one in there. So, they had that for about a year. Now we add in 1818 to 1819. Initial faint whispers begin, then full-blown conversations. And when I mean full-blown conversations, the Bells go in diaries, newspapers, neighbors when they show up, saying that they spoke to and had a conversation with the Bell Witch. It started as you thought you heard something, you thought you overheard a conversation from somebody else, but then later it came to be, I'm like, you're hearing the tapping, you're having the hair pulling, is there someone there? And instead of just being the faint, like, yes, it would be, yes, I'm here, and it was just growing. And then it would be, who are you? What's going on? They were having full-fledged conversations with her. She was even, at one point, able to recite scriptures, sing hymns, and recite town gossips. In one account, to prove that she is like this all-powerful witch, and I will go right here that what they classified as a witch at this point in time wasn't what we know as a witch of like the black hat and all that. Yeah. Witch is just someone that they're associating like with poltergeist activity. At one point in time, the Bell Witch is on record reciting a sermon from another church over 30 miles away that happened the exact same day. Now, you have to keep in mind, we're talking 1818. That travel, you're not doing that by horse and getting information that quickly. She was able to recite a sermon from another church miles away. So, the spirit intelligence is apparent. She debates religion and answers questions accurately. Visitors report hearing voices outside the walls, not only inside the house, but even when you're out in the yard, out in the field, like it's everywhere. The being that we could say is claiming that it has the identity, like I said, of Kate. She never says Kate Batts, just that she's Kate, and leaves it at that. So then we associate it with the neighbor Batts. Richard Williams from earlier in 1818 goes on to quote to say, "I heard the voice plain as day. It sang the hymns we know in church, yet it mocked and teased with the words I could not imagine a mortal speaking." Another neighbor from 1819 goes on to say the voice seemed to know things that only the family could know, as if watching from everywhere at once. It wasn't just recite something that everyone has common knowledge to. almost like how you would do an investigation now. Go tell me what so-and-so is wearing in the other room, and say it very quietly, blah, blah, with them not even knowing what the question is, and that answer comes right back out. Can you tell me what they're writing down this very moment when they're the only one sitting there writing? And she got everything right. It was spot on. So from the very beginning that like the conversations started on, she threatened and targeted John and Betsy. John's taunts were constantly old Jack, your time is near. That she had intended on affecting John Bell Sr. at some point. Like he was going to take it. Now, Betsy, it depends on the stories you listen to, the podcast, and all this and that. Some people go to say that Betsy was a target because of her engagement. She was engaged to an individual that some theorize the family didn't care for, and they were trying to find an excuse to get the engagement to stop, and that's why like the creation of the Bell Witch happened. But even after her engagement was over and then she got engaged to someone else, it didn't stop. It just continued and even intensified. So like I said, and this is the similarity then of why they go with Kate Batts, because not only did she say her name was Kate, so I mean you have that's your neighbor. If you remember what I said, Kate's powers were, these powers of this witch, the Bell Witch, is poltergeist activity, accurate predictions, multiple voices, and physical manipulation of objects. Pretty much the same stuff that Kate was being associated with in her being. So, Reverend...
But I feel like she wouldn't target, like, the kid. Right? Her problem was with the guy.
That's what I don't know. Because, yeah, I could understand going after John, but she goes after Betsy, and she pretty much... I don't want to say she torments in the sense of, like, what we see hauntings in now, but she does, like, interact with the family constantly for decades. It never stops. So I'm like, I could understand going after the father, but then I'm like, what was so wrong with the daughter that you got to go after her?
Maybe she was the favorite.
Could be. No, that could be. I don't know. Reverend Burbage from 1819 goes to, they found this in his family Bible that he wrote down as an account. The spirit answered every question with clarity and wit, quoting scripture with such exactness it confounded learned men. Like they had neighbors showing up. This wasn't just like a family affair. They kept it to themselves for a little while, but then neighbors started showing up and they told them. The town knew of this. Like, it was common. You want to go see something awe-inspiring, mesmerizing? Go in and go take a look at the bells. Another neighbor from 1819 goes on to say that it sang in voices not its own, sometimes soft as a whisper, sometimes booming like thunder. Now, I will say, stipulations again, some people don't believe in this next account. It's...
with the whole Bell Witch tormenting Betsy.
Yes, what you got?
The Bell Witch tormented Betsy Bell to force her to break off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. So she didn't like her. That's why she was tormenting her.
That's what. But like, what did he do so wrong that she couldn't marry him? Because I don't say she tormented her, but she still interacted with her when she later got married. So it's like she didn't have a problem with her getting married. So what was the problem with him? So I don't. But the next one I have, like I said, it's there is a lot of controversy against this whole story. The controversy with this is because of who it is. There is no White House documented letter saying this. Andrew Jackson is accredited to visiting the Bell Witch. Now, he was heading up from the War of 1812, the war down in Louisiana and all that stuff. So he was heading up back from that. He was done and heading his way back up. I think he was, a major general something or other at that time. So on his way back up through, heading towards Washington and whatnot, they stopped off in Tennessee to like make their rounds and whatnot. And when they found out that this was going on, in every lore, he is accredited to stopping into this. So Jackson visits with a group of his men to investigate. On the way to the Bells farm, their wagon stalls. The horses refuse to move, and the men hear disembodied voices. The horses are like heading straight for it. There has been no issues, no problems. They're not stuck in ruts. But all of a sudden, the horses stop. Their ears perk up, and they do not want to move. They don't want to budge. Like something is terrifying them. Andrew Jackson goes on to say, and this is a quote that we have from their diary, "By the eternal, I'd rather face the entire British army than spend another night with this witch." All of a sudden, the horses calm down, and then they're allowed to pass. The witch, from a distance of the farm, goes on to acknowledge Andrew Jackson and say, "You are allowed to pass and you are allowed to come up through." Almost like thanking him for recognizing of what he's about to deal with. Mm-hmm. They were there. They were supposed to be there for a series of nights. Visit the area, whatever, just to like sightsee there. They ended up being there one night. They left the next day. They did not stay. Their whole like tour they were supposed to do, canceled it and they left.
Yeah, not doing this.
Yeah. So in 1819 to 1820, we have a rough outline here. The symptoms now go to John. His health begins to decline. His symptoms is twitching, choking, paralyzation, weakness. The entity claims to be responsible for it and numerous times goes on to say, "I will kill old Jack." She's got a vendetta out for this boy. On December 20th, 1820, John dies. Now, this is the only account we have of an entity claiming responsibility for killing an individual. And we have possible proof of her killing him. He didn't just wake up and be dead. The family found a black vial, or a vial of black fluid partially opened by Jack's bed. They couldn't determine what it was, and they didn't keep the bottle that we could do forensics now day and age. But one of the children gave some of the black fluid to their family cat. Don't get upset.
I've already heard this.
Oh, okay. So. When they gave it to the cat died instantly. No sooner it took a drop of it, it was dead. So the assumption is whatever black fluid was in there, John was given it, and since no one else gave it to him, no one of the family, whatever, that the Bell Witch had done it. This is from Betsy Bell. "I watched my father fall, and though no hand touched him, he gasped and struggled as if some unseen force was upon him. The voice laughed, saying, 'Old Jack is mine.'" Joel Bell from 1820 said, "I heard the sounds of struggle through the walls. It was terrifying. None dared enter the house." So she is like the only account that we have that a spirit, pretty much for lack of a better term, killed someone.
I don't understand why these people stayed here.
I don't know.
For so long.
They continue to stay there. They never leave.
Like
everyone.
Well, no,
the moment I'm sitting in like a dining room and somebody starts singing to me, and I'm the only one there, Nick's leaving.
They wanted to stick it out. They had no problems with it. I mean, I shouldn't say no problems, but what did you do in North Carolina that you're like, okay, this is too much. We're just going to pack back and go back.
Like, you just stay there and like, I'm like, no.
They endured it. Well, you already talked about her marriage. That's just about Betsy, so we'll just clear off that out. After John's death, the witch pretty much doesn't interact with them as much, kind of lingers off, but she does promise to return in 7 years. So John died in 1820. She said, "This is going to be enough. I will return in 7 years to check on you and see all what's going on. And in 1828, she does come back. She's not tormenting anyone. She's not pulling any more hair or whatnot, but they are having poltergeist activity. And she makes a prediction that would later come true about the Civil War. Because the Civil War hasn't started yet, but she makes a prediction that there is going to be a war of brother against brother, that this is going to affect everyone, that you need to be prepared, that this is going to come right outside your doorstep, and then the Civil War happens. She then promises to return in 107 years. I don't know why we picked these numbers. We picked from 7 years to 107 years. I don't know why. So that shoots it to be about 1935. Which she does. She holds, there are descendants of the Bells family who, in 1935, he wrote down in his diary that in his home, no longer on the property, the Bell Witch moves around, that on his property.
God, she's mobile.
She is a mobile witch. That he had again, poltergeist activity, almost like, and it wasn't malevolent, it was, I'm here to check in. I want to see what's going on, and then pulls back out again. So from Bell Jr. in 1828, when she came back after those 7 years, she spoke to me as plainly as my father once did, telling me of wars, of sorrow, and of things that would come to pass in distant lands. All right. So the reason why she's called the Bell Witch is by a nearby cave on the Bell property. In Tennessee, there's a lot of caves that are very cold, very drafty. It's where a lot of the refrigeration was done during that time to help preserve foods and meats. That is where her home is said to reside. That's where she is supposed to stay. She actually doesn't reside in the homes. That's why I said being mobile and moving around. There is a cave that has an iron gate in front of it and everything. I think they do tours through it a little bit. You're not advised to go in by yourself, just obviously because of safety concerns and whatnot. But
I know Sam and Colby went through it.
Right. But there is that when you go in, you hear whispers, you hear voice, and there can be some movement. Could be wind. I will be fair to that. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of people who go in there to do investigations, and they come out with quite a few stuff. The other things they see, not just by shadows, there's stones that are thrown at them when they go in, especially the whole disrespecting the Bell Witch, and they see orbs a lot of times, most commonly in paranormal investigations. You're in a dark area. They use low cameras so they can get good photos, and you will see floating orbs moving around. The reason why she got...
It's at Spirit Halloween.
Oh, nice. The reason why she's called the Bell Witch is because her first interactions with everyone, it was said to sound like a small bell going off, like the small whispers and that was that chiming sound. Believe it or not, in the town that this is, that the house, because the log cabin, I think, was rebuilt, that they were living in. Was it rebuilt or was it salvage, something like that? The town that this happens in, the children learn about this in school. This is a part of their school curriculum. How anywhere else, when we grew up, you want to learn about a cryptid or paranormal, you got to go to the library and go dig out No, that is at this time of year, we will be learning about this, and it is a week long. We learn about the Bell Witch in this class now. This is our history. So I'm I think that's really cool. I'm why don't we have local lore in the class? That'd be cool. So for the Bell Witch Cave, modern visitors from the 1990s go on to say this: we were taking pictures, laughing, and suddenly one of the stones hit my foot. No one was near. Then I heard a voice. It said, "Go back." I swear I felt eyes on us the whole time. A paranormal investigator from 2005 is quoted on saying, "I walked into the cave and felt a cold hand brush past my shoulder. My hair stood on end, but there was no one there." The legacy of the Bell Witch is over 100 first-hand accounts during the time period, going on to quote her saying that she is unique, intelligent entity, powerful speech, can be violent, makes predictions. She has inspired books, film, and documentaries. Historian Martin Van Buren Ingram, I hate when they have the long names, From 1894, no other haunting in American history has been so thoroughly documented, so widely witnessed, and so universally feared as the Bell Witch.
Dun, dun, dun.
There, when you're listening to podcasts, to stories, to audiobooks, you got to be careful. You really do, because she has inspired a lot of stories. There is a story out there on, I can't think of the podcast name, but it's set up like an audiobook, and when you're listening to it, it's good, it's creepy, but it's false. It took the story of the Bell Witch, and it has it that this man, he went and investigated it. He had this diary, and it was sealed away, and it was hidden, and then it was undone. That part's not true. The stories that he mentions are correct, but then him like having this diary, whatever, that's not true. There was an account, but again, controversy again. There was an account that someone did come and investigate the family, and they said of all this stuff that was happening, they were not allowed to publish the story and to go into like this huge detail of it, almost like a book, until all the immediate family had died. Now, you could say that that's credibility to the family, that they weren't there to make any money, or you would want to publish that out. That way you could draw people in. Or you can go on the other side and say they didn't want to publish because then they don't have anybody coming back and questioning them on it. Mm-hmm. So it is left for interpretation. To this day, on the property and in the cave, there are small things that continue to happen that are accredited to the Bell Witch. What you think?
I don't know. Like, I just have a hard time believing you'd stay in a house like that.
They stayed. I don't know. Are you that successful? Does money talk that well that you don't go?
I could, maybe. All right, maybe you could get used to the singing, what have you, but like the physical abuse on like
for Betsy.
Like, why would you put up with that? I don't know.
If you had a ghost constantly pulling your hair at night, would you stay?
I'd keep a hammer next to my bed.
So then that's a yes. She would stay.
Depends.
Wait, why a hammer? What's the hammer gonna do?
Just wake up, start swinging it randomly.
Just wake up in the middle of the night and just start swinging your.
It's like
depends. If I'm at a nice house, I'm not gonna move out of it just because there's a bitch there. I'm gonna fucking fight it.
Okay.
Well, it's another. Is this what exactly is it? It's like we're talking. Just like is it just a person? It's like a witch, or is it like a ghost, like a demon? Like, what exactly is this thing?
Well, see, that's okay. Other than the animal, which that one has always floored me, of a dog's body, like a very large dog is what it goes on to account for, has the head of a rabbit. I'm like, how do you even create that? That's it.
Take it up with our Lord and Savior.
Other than that, there is no that they saw a ghostly figure or anything like that. It's always just a voice they all hear. They never say, we saw her standing over here, we saw her. A voice appears out of nowhere and I hear it. So unless you're physically seeing something, yeah, what is it then? Mm-hmm. And like I said, she only goes to mention that when they ask who it is, I'm Kate. Does not say I'm Kate Bates. It is all that we're just making connections of what we can associate with. There's nothing in black and white that you saw an image, that there was... She signed a document saying this is who I am. We left it very open. Did they have... I don't want to say demonic, because it didn't continue to do demonic things. At least not into our assumption of it that we've seen in other hauntings and whatnot.
I mean, it's just after the... What was his name? John?
Yes, John.
After he died, it just apparently came back whenever it wanted. Or,
yeah.
Like, just checking in.
Yeah,
and dipping again. Like,
yeah.
I
don't know. Because after the whole deal with John, he took... I mean, they say that Betsy took the brunt of it. I think it's just because of the tormenting of, like, the scratches, the hair pulling, that kind of stuff. But John literally took all of it to the grave. I mean, she's accredited with killing him. But yeah, after that, no one else ever sensed anything. And the story with Andrew Jackson, they don't say like verbatim of what happened. They said that everything was tense. They went into the night at the residence, and then they left next day. So they just go that he did not want to be there anymore. He went on to say that he would rather go face the British again. So what did she not like of Jackson and his men that other neighbors didn't report any of that? They reported interacting with her, hearing the voices and stuff, but nothing of we're never setting foot back on that property again. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know.
Meow. No, they didn't have constant like shape-shifting creatures constantly showing up like skinwalkers and whatnot. That never happened again. At least nobody recounted any of that. So I don't know.
Like, when did the old woman die? Or was she old? I don't even know how old she was.
You want to look that up for me? I did not think to look that up of when Kate is created, because I did not find that in any of my notes. Nobody ever, and you know what? I never heard that in a podcast either of when she ever died. Because I don't know if she actually was still alive when this was going on, or if she passed away at the end of it all. Because I made sure to get John's death in here, but I did that. I forgot. That's my bad. Because, I mean, she already had the reputation of doing this stuff before. Not to, like, a huge extent, like, you better fear her.
January 27th, 1837.
So she was alive when John died.
So she died.
I think her death is unclear because there's another one that says 1842.
Yeah, no, okay, then that's why I didn't see anything. Nobody could get like a clear defiant.
It is confirmed though that she outlived John, I believe.
Okay. So did she do like a bunch of like out of body stuff?
Right, because they got there, what, you said 04?
1804, yes.
And it didn't start for like 13 years. 13 years it was fine.
Yes, everything was fine. And then
all of a sudden, shit started.
Yeah. So was she building up and that? Because like I said, you do get some consistencies. The story with him going out hunting, that is the one that every single story he's out and he goes to describe the creature that was watching him. Just that as he was going along, he felt this presence of eyes on him, and there was this creature just watching him. And then when he approached it, it went in the other direction. And then immediately after that, that's when everything started. So did she do her research? Did she do her learning to like build up? And she's like, this is what I can do, and you're going to see what you get for crossing me.
Because then the whole like vial, like I'm assuming obviously it's some kind of poison.
Yes.
So that's definitely like a physical.
Right.
Like, because like a ghost wouldn't need to poison you.
Now, some people have gone on to say in their shows or in their theories that it was medicine for John, that it was actually poison, like you just said, but he was told that it was medicine, it was gone to help him. No one within the family knew anything about this. So no one stood up and said, oh yeah, this vial here, that vial was not there the night before, nobody knew of its existence, and all of a sudden it just appeared and it was that deadly that it killed stuff. So it's like, okay, if he's that ill and becoming that weak, he didn't go out and get it himself, so it had to have come in, and again, one of the family members or a neighbor would have had to have known, oh yeah, no, I got this. Now, yeah, could have been, well, I don't want to be responsible and found guilty for it, so no, I don't want to know anything about it. Then why did we test it on the cat then? Why didn't we just then this must just been immediately. I don't know.
I think the old woman killed him.
I do. What you got? Oh, I thought you were getting more information.
Oh, yeah, I got another date for her death that said 1846. There's just a bunch of different ones.
She's still alive.
Well, because her being, and like I said, not like she's like an old hag or whatever, but the whole persona of witch is that she could possibly like outlive a lot of people. Almost like, have you ever heard of like the Philosopher's Stone?
Mm-hmm.
Almost with like that scenario, that she's constantly, and that's why she's been around for so long, she doesn't seem to age or whatever, and she just keeps growing and growing with it. It's like, don't piss off the woman to do a dealing with. Like, make sure you're straight and true, give a fair deal here, and don't come away with like, no, I'll get a little bit more. No, let's not incur any of this stuff. Be right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like if it was supernatural, like, it wouldn't stop, or...
I think the intensity would have increased, and you would have had... When John died, then we would have targeted somebody else.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't have just, like, I'll see you in 107 years.
Yeah, it
I
blew
think
off.
maybe they were cursed, but it was John himself that was cursed, and not, like, everybody. So the entity only targeted him, so then when he died, she didn't feel the need to
Constantly keep going after it.
Yeah. And then maybe she targeted Betsy because maybe she was the favorite. So she's just like, if I torment her, at the same time I'll be tormenting her father.
Could be.
I don't know, but I feel like with curses, like, once like, whoever's being targeted, once they're done, it's gone forever. Isn't, like, I feel like with a curse.
For the most part that I've seen, yeah. Unless you're doing a group of people, family.
Yeah, unless, like, the entire family and generations of this family.
Or land. If it's cursed land, then whoever steps foot on the land usually receives it.
Unless, like you said, like, curse your whole bloodline.
Yeah, then everyone's fucked. Then, I'm sorry, even, and I don't want to sound morbid, but at that point, I'm like, just, you don't want to take care of yourself anymore. I'm like, if the whole bloodline, I'm like, then don't have any more people, because no one's going to have any luck at all. Like, it's going to be miserable for everybody.
But then I'm like, what kind of person would curse, like, a whole bloodline over, like, a land like that? Like, how bad was this deal?
Have you never had anyone wrong you severely yet?
Like, I don't, like, how bad was the deal you made? Like, you agreed to this at some point. You know?
I wish that would have been documented of, like, how much he, like, paid for the land or, like, what the trade was. Because if that information would be in, be like, yeah, she got, like, we can see where she was heading from. There's nothing. John just made a wonderful deal. And
because I have a problem with that, too. It's like, it was your land. You're the one who said yes to this deal. So, like,
maybe she was like, I'll give you this land for free if you let me curse you. And he thought she was full of shit.
Maybe. That could be. I don't know.
Like, that's what bothers me, this whole, like, this is your land, literally. You're the one who said yes to the deal, so it couldn't have been that bad, right?
In the moment, it sounded good, and then after a while, you're like, shit, I could have gotten more for it.
So it's just like marriage. At the moment, it sounds good, but, 10 years later, you're like, you know what? I think I made a bad deal.
I think I want to trade this in now. Well, take a note from Kate and start learning how to curse. What'd you say it was 13 years? Give yourself 13 years to build up and be like, now I'm going to get a better deal.
Like, it's fucking go time. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's, like I said, that's just like I said, it's your land. You couldn't have hated the deal that bad, or you just walk, you're like, no.
Right.
So, like.
Okay. What do you think then? Do you believe in the Bell Witch?
I'm being abused.
By what? By the Bell Cat.
Yes. She's scratching me.
I don't, like I said, I don't even know what it is. Like.
It's fair. That's fair. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe the Bell Witch was already on the property, and that's why, like maybe it was targeting Kate to begin with, and that's why she wanted to sell the land. So maybe it's not her fault at all.
That's
and then
interesting.
the witch, because maybe the witch was mad that Kate had moved and sold the land, so she took her identity and was, like, blaming it on her.
I like that. Okay.
What do you think?
Could it be, too, that maybe the entity had a relationship in a way with Kate, and Kate said, this fool gave me a bad deal, and then directed the entity to be like, you can take my name, I'll, like, allow you to have this, go torment him. Okay.
Yeah, cause did she stay, like, she was their neighbor, right? Or
Yes, she stayed their neighbor, and to my knowledge that I found, she stayed in the area. So... But that's just it. I mean, being that the neighbors had the interactions and we're making this assumption, there's nothing in there saying that everybody went to go torch her house. Like, leave John alone and stop this stuff. Right, they left her be.
Our fucking angry mob with our torches and pitchforks going towards
there
her
was
house.
Nobody. The villagers didn't go after her. Yeah, there wasn't any of that. That's what I assumed to, like, have eventually. No. Left her, unless they feared her that much that if you can do this to him, what are you going to do to us if we screw with you? I don't know, but
I don't know. I think he was murdered.
Definitely, he was murdered. But who the culprit was?
The cat.
The cat did it.
The cat was the culprit.
Like murder, suicide.
Yeah, it could have been suicide, though. He could have just been, like, tired of this whole witch thing, and he could have done it himself.
That's fair, yes. No, could have been. That could have been.
I don't know. I feel like he's a shrewd person. He's probably loved himself too much to kill himself. I think it was murder. Somebody get him in.
Well, why don't you guys tell us what you think? Was John Bell...
Like murder, death, kill.
Let us know in the comments if you think he was murdered, if you think he did it himself, or was it just an accident? Did he have the wrong spice from town?
I think it was murder. Family did it. Somebody did it.
This is a first for him. He usually doesn't take a strong stance like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. You are dead set. Somebody killed this boy.
Yeah. I think it's...
Okay.
Murder.
All right. Yeah, now you're mad.
It was a little girl did it.
Dakota.
What?
Why did you kill him?
I didn't.
That's what they all say.
That's what it really was. He was abusing her. She killed him. Murder.
You've got a whole lineup now with this. Let me tell you what happened here. On the night of August 5th, he got drunk and he said some things he shouldn't have, and that was it. She planned this from a long time. She brewed
the final
this.
Straw. Enough of the hair pulling. I'm done with it.
So you're saying Betsy killed him? Oh my God!
Somebody killed him. I don't know who.
Or it could have been Betsy's old fiance. He could have thought that the dad was trying to get them separated. So he
loved her that much that he wanted to come back and like do her father in?
Yep.
But he still didn't end up marrying her anyway. She married somebody else.
And I just feel like there are a lot of people who didn't like this man. Because he's a shrewd person.
Who, John? Oh, yeah.
So somebody did him in.
And then just blamed it on the witch.
I would. I would hear about this. Like, you hear about this, all this crazy shit happening at their house. I'm like, man, really? Like, we poisoned the bastard. And then we just blame it on that.
I just drop this off and nobody will know.
Here, John, this will help with your cold.
Your cold. It's a little thick, but it'll get right in there for you.
It'll be all right.
I'm never taking shit from you again. I don't trust you.
I mean, don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
The cat left me.
Yeah, murder.
What, the cat?
No,
cat got murdered too, technically.
Well, technically, yeah. No, I do. I feel really bad for the cat because the cat got like the short end. Like, oh, let's test this thing. Here, cat, come here. I'm like, what did the cat do wrong?
I would have texted it.
I
would have tested it on the ex-fiance. Just call him over. Be like, hey, I want to get back together, but drink this tea first.
I think at that time she was already married.
I'm getting a divorce.
Oh, that's just it, too. Because I want to know what was so wrong with the guy she was engaged to, because the guy she got married to was previously married.
Yeah, it said he was a school teacher.
Yeah. So I'm like, what was wrong with the unmarried guy here that you ended up putting here with the previous...
It just said unknown reason.
Yeah, like nobody... We don't talk about it. Why don't we talk about it? What,
right.
like... What happened? Did this one know what John was really like? Did he have previous dealings or like have knowledge of him from North Carolina? He's like, oh, you don't want to deal with him because this is what's going to happen. You're not marrying my daughter now.
Mm-hmm. Like, and then the whole cave thing. Like, why did they assume she lived in a cave or whatever this thing is?
She's not actually a witch. She's a troll.
There was a lot of caves in the area, and it's just where the activity seemed to funnel back to.
And it's just after every haunting, there's a smoke that just goes right back into the cave.
I'm returning! Let me follow this haze. It leads right to this cave. Let's go inside cave.
You wouldn't go in.
No, I
wouldn't.
On the outside. I'm not stupid.
Let's go inside cave. Hey, did you guys know there's a lady in here?
I'm calling you because I'm already in the car. What'd you guys find in that cave?
There's some old lady.
You didn't come in. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, there's an old lady in there? I'm like, click. Yeah. I just drive away.
What if we said there was a family of midgets in there?
I'm like, tempting. The midgets, leprechauns. I'm like, what are they?
Mixture.
I'm like, that.
It's a party pack.
It's a party.
Let's see what happens.
There's a few gnomes in there, too.
Oh, my.
There's a whole fucking party in here.
Alrighty, that's it for the Bell Witch. Oh, my God. If you guys enjoyed this, please remember to give us a like and a share. Keep following along. We still have plenty more to go off of. Like I said, this is our...
Like, what do you think?
Me? All right. I have always been under the assumption that it was Kate, that she was able to manipulate the environment around her, and John did her bad in the dealing. Like I said, I just knew that part before, but when I did more research, I didn't know that he had such a bad reputation, which like kind of anchored in why I thought that. But on the same token, why did she have such an interest then in the family to continue coming back? Why? What's with this family that she leaves, returns? I don't know. I think there is something, maybe not malevolent, but there is something, because with the caves in the area, that's always associated with spirits of like quartz rocks, with spring water, with limestones, and those caves are going to have that, and that's going to help channel her to like keep coming back and forth. Maybe she can only come back so often because of like energy reasons. That's all theoretical, but I think it did start off legitimately as a person who just knew we'll call it black magic, ways to get her justice for how she was treated.
You know, maybe it wasn't her own. Maybe this originated in North Carolina. Maybe that's the underlying reason why they left.
Could be. Because, yeah, we're not given a reason of why. They don't talk about that at all. They just... For this event that is so well documented, a bunch of other stuff, yeah, they don't talk about. I'm like, why? They just value it not important? I don't know. But no, I do believe that that it started off as Kate trying to project, and then it transformed into something of her past life. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
Well, when did he die?
1820.
1820. And
she died 7 years later. But then a year later is when the Bell Witch was said to come back to John Jr. So
I know. I feel like all that's made up.
what's that?
The after.
The after.
I'm like,
That
could be. It came back 7 years, and then 107 years after that. I'm like, shit sounds.
I never understood the dates of why we went so little, then we went so vast. I'm like, why?
Like, I could get, the whole with him. I could get behind this, with the whole, But then after he dies, like I said, if there's a curse, or I feel like it should be done. Unless, like I say, you curse the whole bloodline, but
I was gonna say because she doesn't go on to torment anybody else. She's just talking to them.
Done.
But then I'm like, what? Why? What makes these guys so special that you want to talk to them? Why don't you just go talk to anybody? Mm-hmm. Why do you have to talk to them?
So I feel like whatever was happening once he died, I think it was done.
That was the end of it.
I think the rest is just made up shit.
Somebody trying to keep feeding off of it.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
But in the end, it was murder. Somebody greased his ass.
Well, we will have more murder ones in our future episode. I promise. There is going to be more torments, more murders, more violent activity. I promise. There will be even a little bit of blood in a couple of them for you.
Now we're talking.
All right. So until next time, we'll see you guys all later.
Murder.